Hello everyone, welcome to Just Invest Today. And today we are talking about Warren Buffett and his book called the Warren Buffett Bible. I feel like this is a very interesting book. It's very short, nice and sweet. It's just about Warren Buffett quotes. That's basically what it is, and it's good to always go back to this book to just put those quotes back in our mind so we stay stable, humble during any time during the market. So in today's video, I want to talk about three quotes that really hit down and pinpoint the fact that patience is super important in the market today. And we have to understand this because when you really think about everything that's going on, Monish Pabrai says this repeatedly that patience is the number one thing for investing. And that's what we really need to have. Extreme patience. We have to be able to watch paint dry on a wall, and that's what Warren Buffett says himself, that should be the most interesting thing to you, just watching paint dry on a wall. Like, that should be stimulating, because that's what we have to understand in investing. That's what we need, because we're looking 5-10 years down the road when we really truly look at investing. So let's get into three important quotes about Warren Buffett. I'm probably going to make this into a series just to reestablish, just to put everything back in my mind and just making sure we have all these rules down packed. Because when Warren Buffett talks, you have to listen to what he says. So let's get into the first quote. Do not take yearly results too seriously. Instead, focus on the 4 to 5 year averages. This is a very important quote for me, especially during these times. As we've seen in 2020, we were so spoiled, man. We were super spoiled. We had 60% returns, 50, 30, 40. Everything went flying right back up after the whole COVID situation. So we understand how spoiled we were in 2020. And we just think that, okay, if we have a company and it does bad one year, we just need to sell it off, right? That's how we think in today's market, because we're expecting returns so quickly. But remember, these are real businesses that go through ups and downs. 1 year result does not make a business. Facebook can go down 1 year and then go crazy the next 2 to 3 years, as long as we have that long-term mindset. So don't take these yearly results so bad, or these quarter results so badly. Just remember, is the business still good? Does it still have a competitive advantage? Is the balance sheet still strong? Like, is the earnings still growing? Like, just look at what the company is doing, look at the story, and just make sure it's still on the right path. If it goes down 1 year, doesn't mean the company is bad. Like, this is a real life businesses. Businesses do not just go in a straight upwards trend. Like, that does not happen in real life. So just take that to heart next time you think about just selling your businesses just because it had one bad quarter or maybe a bad year. Like, that's not enough to sell these strong businesses. Inactivity strikes us as intelligent behavior. How many times have you heard this quote, but do you use it at all? Because everyone knows, everyone says that inactivity, being patient, is the number one thing to do when you are investing. And that's how you make your money in the market. You make your money being patient, not on the buying, not on the selling. That's the second-hand things compared to being patient. Because we have to understand how we make our money and how we do things. Just look at the stuff that Warren Buffett has done, and look at the things, the opportunities he's bought. He bought when Apple was declining. I think it was around 2018, 2017, when people were saying, oh my God, Apple can't innovate. Apple is on the downtrend. He bought into Apple during that time. Just think about it. What about the American Express? Look when he bought into American Express, guys. When it was on the downtrend, when there's a short-term issue, short-term problem. But he had to be patient during that whole process before it even happened. He was patient, waiting for an opportunity to strike, because the whole salad oil crisis and how it caused short-term issues in the short-term market. And he knew that was going to rise right back up if you just remain patient and just held on to those stocks. And he had patience before he even invested in the company, had a lot of money on the sideline waiting. Plus, look what Warren Buffett did. He was so patient. He sold out of all his stocks during like the 1960s, at the end of the 1960s because he was fed up. He couldn't find any stocks to buy into. So guess when he decided to wait and wait and wait, and then he invested right when that crash happened around 1973, 74, and he got huge bargains during that price. It was a huge crash. Things went down 30, 50% during that time. So, and that was when he was in his prime. That was this prime of his glory, averaging 30% year, like generating huge returns, 30%, high 28% returns. So just look at what he did during that time and how he was successful. Patience is so key. Great investment opportunities come around when excellent companies are surrounded by unusual circumstances that cause the stock to be mispriced. There it is, guys. That's what I just talked about. These great opportunities come while we're willing to wait on the sideline and be hit with these short-term problems. And the best one I have to come back to is Phil Town. Phil Town says it all the time in his podcast. He always goes back to Chipotle, his favorite stock, and how he said that Chipotle crashed 50% during that whole equalized like situation, but he understood that was a short-term problem, and he invested in the company like when it was going down, and he knew it would recover back up. So once that whole sentiment of what was happening with the whole equalized situation and how it crashed the stock price, he understood that Chipotle was still a strong company with an amazing balance sheet, still expanding. People still love the company, so he knew it was going to recover, and that's a huge opportunity to invest when there is short-term problems in the stock or in these companies. There it is, guys. Tell me what you think about these 3 quotes. I'm going to probably make this into a series to help remind you, help remind me. And man, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get back to you in the next video. Peace!